Hi, my name is Cian Laffey, and today I'm going to show you how to make some optical toys with the things that you have lying around at home. These are really fun, simple projects, and I hope you enjoy. First of all, you're going to need a cutting mat, or some cardboard, or loads of paper, just something that you can work on, get a bit messy, and that you don't scratch up your mom's table. Next, you're going to need colours. I'm going to use some Sharpies today. You can use colouring pencils or paint or whatever you have lying around at home. You're also going to need some Pritt stick or PVA glue. Pritt stick is probably easier. You're going to need some string, any type of string. I'm going to use this so hopefully you can see it. You're going to need some tape or blue tack. You can use both. You're going to need them later. You're going to need a coin, small enough coin. I'm going to use a 5-cent coin today. You're going to need a pencil. Make sure it's a long pencil. You're going to need a compass or a cup. I'm going to show you in a second what I'm going to do with these. And most importantly, you're going to need a scissors. Be very careful with the scissors, okay? And finally, you're going to need an old cereal box. And you're going to do a lot with this, but if you have a few cereal boxes, you can use it instead of a cutting board. And make sure you have paper. You're going to need lots of paper. So the first project we're going to do is a spinning top. To make your spinning top, you're going to need the compass or a cup. And just to begin, draw yourself a circle. If you don't have a compass, you can use the cup. You can trace around it. Make sure to really push in with your center. This is why a compass is great, because it's really easy to find the center. It's much harder to find the center with your cup. Okay, once you have your circle drawn out, you can color it in. And that's why you're going to need all your colors from earlier. Now here's one I did earlier. And the trick is that once I have this ready to go, it should spin and you should see all the colors come together. You're going to need a little bit of card, and you can get that from your cereal box. So make sure you don't bend that as you're going. Okay, I'm just going to glue this to this. And then I'll cut it out. Make sure it's stuck down really well. You don't want this coming off your card. Okay, once it's stuck down, make sure you have an adult nearby if you're not comfortable using scissors. And just slowly and carefully cut out your shape. Okay, now here's my circle all cut out. And remember your coin from earlier? You're going to need that now. And for this part, you're going to definitely need an adult. You're going to need to get a blade. You could use this with a scissors, but it'll be very tricky. So, make sure that you have a dot That's your center point. You're just going to cut a line across your center point. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Nope. You want the coin to be about halfway. Enough to hold it with your fingers and enough to spin on the table. And hopefully it should be left with the spinning top. Let's see if I can get a good spin on it. See how all the colours blend together? And you can have fun with this and try different patterns. See what color combinations you can come up with. See how all the colors are now one color? And try really big circles as well and use bigger coins. That's project 1, and now they're going to get a little bit trickier. This next project is the first of 2 thaumatropes. For this one, you're going to need your pencil and you're going to need your compass or your cup again. This time I'm going to make a slightly smaller circle, but you can do a big one if you want. It's just a little bit trickier the bigger your circle is. So you're going to need 2 circles that are equal or the same. In one of the circles, you're going to need to make a smaller circle. And then colour in this smaller circle. Cut out your circles and stick them on your cereal box. See where I'm going with this? It's a smiley face. I'm just going to cut this circle out. You can follow along. Or pause the video and catch up. Okay, now I have my 2 circles cut out. Remember that pencil from earlier? You're going to need it now and some tape or tack. One of your circles, flip it round and tape it to the back of your pencil. Try and line it up with your center dot that you've made with your compass. I need a little bit better tape than that. Just double check. There's my dot. It's in the center with my pencil. I'll tape it a little bit more. Now you go on to put this circle on top here. You could bend them together. A little bit more tape. Well, I think I'm going to use tack instead of tape because it's a little bit easier. I hope this will stick. Okay. Make sure to line up your circles. And you could draw any expression here. So that's what you should have. And then hopefully, if you spin it well enough, they should appear to be on the same side. Now let's just clear our space a little. So you've just made your first thaumatrope. if you're feeling up to a challenge, here's a little bit of a harder thaumatrope. And I've just prepared this earlier. So again, draw out your circle with a compass, making sure to keep a dot. And then draw on one of your circles a bird cage, and on your other circle a bird. Make sure you keep the dots. Hopefully you can see that. What you're going to want to do then is stick one of them to a piece of card. It's just an old card from a frame, or your cereal box will do, and make 2 dots. Make sure that they're in line with your center point and that they're in line with one another. You could also do this with a jar and a butterfly, or well, maybe you can come up with something a little bit more interesting. Kitten in a box, puppy in a basket, whatever you want. So cut out your first circle. Only stick one circle to your piece of card to begin with. Just makes things a little easier. Just take your time, be careful. So now you should have 2 circles. So what you go do is you go glue this guy to the back of your cage, and hopefully they line up. I think that's lining up. You want to glue that down with some of your PVA from earlier, or your Pritt Stick. Now this is the second thaumatrope, like I said. This one's a little trickier, so take your time. Okay, cool. So you could stick this on a pencil, just like this guy before. It's the same idea, but this time we're going to use some of that string. Now I've got nice purple string, but it doesn't matter what kind of string. You're going to need to cut a fair bit off. Make sure you have 2 equal lengths. I'll just clear my space a little. Now, with a pencil or a compass, you're going to want to puncture your piece. And we talked about making sure you have 2 points in line with your center. I think maybe the compass might be big enough for this. Be very careful. You want to do the other side as well. You can make that hole bigger with the pencil in a minute. Be very careful. You don't want to hurt yourself doing this. I'm going to make the hole a little bit bigger just so it's easy to get the string in. Be careful though, you don't want to rip it. You just have to be very close to the edge. It's very delicate there. But it's okay if you do rip it. It's easy to make, isn't it? You've already done one. Okay, here you go. Feed the string in. That's kind of tricky. Do we have it? We do. There we go. That's one piece of string. And just leave it out for a second. Well, hey, there we go. Okay, now make sure these are even as best as possible. It's not crucial, but it will make the effect better. Make it nice and neat. There we go, both sides. If you want it to be a little bit neater, spin. Yeah, and be a little bit neater, just chop these. And there you have your second thaumatrope. Now your thaumatrope is done. And just remember that your bird should be upside down and your bird cage should be the right way up, or vice versa. Upside down bird cage, right ways bird. You want to grab your string and hold it relatively tight and then spin it. And with a little bit of practice, it should look like the bird is inside the cage. And that's the two thaumatropes done now. You have this one, and you have this one. And just again, that's how that one works. So it's the same idea, just two different ways of doing it. This is the final project we're going to do today, and it's the zoetrope. This is going to be the hardest project, and you're going to need a pair of scissors, you're going to need some string, and you're going to need some glue or Pritt stick. I'm going to use this one from Cut and Learn. You can Google these and find some templates for yourself, because they're a little bit tricky to make. And we'll include the link for this one at the end of the video. So first of all, you want to cut this out, follow the dotted lines and cut out all this black part. In fact, I'm going to cut out these lines here to begin with, and definitely get an adult to help with this. This bit's a bit tricky. Okay, so that's the windows just cut down. Just cut them across. There. Pop them out. You won't need these little windows anymore. Should have something like that. I'm just going to cut this in two. What's great about this downloaded one is there's lots of instructions. So cut along the grey dashed dotted line, fold along the red dashed line, stick the tabs, attach 3 strings, and your finished product. Just in case, just give me that. So, you should have one. Now you go cut it out, and they should be similar. Actually, they should be exactly the same. See, even the windows line up. So cut along the grey dash line. It's very faint, you might not be able to see it.
before we go too far, let's puncture these holes. So we're going to need these later to put string in. So we'll wipe that. And again, just like earlier, make sure you can fit some string in it. Yeah. There's 2 more on this side. So now we're going to want to fold across the red line. Make sure this is straight. Then fold down the red line. You can use a ruler for this, it'll be easier. Just make sure you're very careful. You should have something like this. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Easy peasy. And again, start with getting your lines straight. And then just follow the red line. So, once you've them folded, unfold them a little. Put down some spare paper and glue them together. And the next few steps are going to involve a lot of glue, so don't get rid of your glue of choice just yet, don't put it away. Okay, that's already folded, so that's easy. Just be very careful. Then the same on the other side. So unfold it. Great. I'm just going to fold this one in half, just so I have a nice clean page with no extra glue on it. So, on this, you'll notice, on this one specifically, it says 2, and here it says 2. So you glue 2 and 2 together, and then you glue 1 and 1 together. We'll start with the ones. So that's 1. Now here's the tricky part. Because we're going to have to turn it around and turn it into a circle. Like so. Now you could use tape if that's easier. Glue's going to be a bit better though. We'll bring it round. You might need someone to help you with this part. It's really tricky. And make sure you cover all that white area. And now you should have your very own zoetrope. And all that's left to do is put in some string. Just gonna leave that here for a second. So, you go get your string, you go pull out a good length of it. You want to measure 3 equal lengths. Okay, 3 lengths there, equal. Remember the holes from earlier? You might need these holes to be a bit bigger. I'm just using a pencil just to make the hole bigger. Tie a knot in all of these. You can tie a knot in all of these, or you can take them up. That's one. You're gonna have to do some editing on this string bit. I'm making a dog's dinner of it. Okay, just snip the ends just to make it a little bit neater. You want to hold these all together at equal lengths. Then you should be able to get the zoetrope to work.
And now you have your finished zoetrope. It's really quite cool. Now, I didn't use any card, and if you want to use card, it might keep the shape a little bit better. There's a bit trial and error with these. But hopefully, if you've got everything right, you should have a dancing gazelle. And as I said, it takes a little bit of practice because you need all three of these strings. All three of these strings to be equal. You can see I'm playing around with this a little because I can't quite get it even. There, I think. That look even. And then just like the thaumatrope before, it's just a spinning. You might want to get all your strings together. And then let it spin. That's kind of hard to film this. But the idea is you look in here and then you see the gazelle running. It's quite a cool effect, but it takes a little bit of practice, and making this is probably the hardest project you're going to do. So if you get this far, well done.
One final small project you can do is make yourself a flip book. And these are really easy to make. You just need a lot of paper. You need to cut it into the same length. See? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 squares, all equal. I'm just going to cut that. As easily as I can. Might be easier this way. I've made this one slightly bigger than the one I'm going to show you. You can make it as big as you want, you just need to be able to flip through it easily. And draw on it easily. Okay, that's enough for now, just to show you. So you get your bundle of pages and make sure they're even. You might need to do a little bit of chopping. It's not flipping very well. I'm just going to chop bundle of them like so. Nice clean edge. Yeah, flips better. For your side. And then you draw on each frame. The great thing about a Sharpie is you know where he's going to be next time. So that's just a quick example. It's very simple, but when you get good at it, when you get enough paper and you clean it all up and they're all the same length, you get your little flip book, you can make something like this. But again, and then really fast and much slower. And don't worry, you can make mistakes, because I did. You just flip your sketchbook the other way. See, there's all my initial sketches, and they didn't go well. And there we are. The end.
That wraps up all the optical toys I have to show you and to build with you. There's lots more I'm sure that you could find if you look online, but these are some of the easiest and most fun and quickest ones to do. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a blast making these. These are super fun, and I hope you have a lot of fun making these as well. I especially like this one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.